What is going on, everyone? It is GeneralTarheel, your coach of the Charizards, bringing you the APA Season 5 Playoff Round 1 match versus Coach Ultraplayer and the Philadelphia Soldu. Now, this is going up a day late, so I'd like to apologize. I'd also like to apologize about the intro, but you know, I always have to do something weird to start off the video, because why not? But this is going up a day late just because I didn't really find the time to record at the moment, unfortunately, but I am getting it right here, so y'all got it. Don't complain. Wink. But, so we are facing Ultraplayer for round 1 of playoffs. This was a pretty difficult matchup, I'd say, because he did have Rain on his roster. He did have actually quite a few Pokemon that we had, which is pretty interesting. We both shared Lando T, Florges, Mew, and Meltank. 4 out of 11 Pokemon all the same is pretty interesting, to be honest. Ultraplayer and I kind of draft fairly similarly, I feel like, but he did have Rain on his roster. He did also have Mega Aerodactyl. He had a good amount of threats that were actually pretty scary versus my team, and Prep was a little bit annoying, and he ended up bringing some threats I wasn't expecting, but apparently he, I also didn't bring threats he was expecting. The 6 I opted to go with was Lando T, Greninja, Florges, Blastoise, Alolan Persian, and Registeel. Now, these sets are pretty ideal. I feel like it kind of had plenty of coverage for the rest of his team. I'll go over why I didn't bring a few things and whatnot. But first off, we have Lando T. This is kind of just a setup and kind of wall break, or maybe just clean up kind of Lando set. I have Flyinium Z with Rock Polish, Fly, Hidden Power Ice, and Stone Edge. Ideally, I probably should have Earthquake over Hidden Power Ice, since I can already kind of use Stone Edge to hit Lando, but the attack drop is kind of annoying. Yeah, Lando v Lando matchup. We are in OU right now, laddering. Basically, just kind of weaken up his team, and hopefully to where Gren can kind of pick up the rest. That was basically the ideal behind Lando, or vice versa, to where Gren just puts in plenty of work, and then Lando T can clean up. Because next up is Greninja, because Greninja has a beautiful matchup versus his team, running Hydro Pump, Dark Pulse for dual stabs, and then we have Gunk Shot and Hidden Power Flying. Hidden Power Flying is just for that Chestnut, because Chestnut can just sit there and take a Gunk Shot from Greninja after one of its stabs, and KO me with Drain Punch or Seed Bomb, whatever it sees fit. So wanted to carry the Hidden Power Flying so I could take it out. I was also debating between Hidden Power Electric for the potential Pelipper, but I felt like Hidden Power Flying was a little bit more important because Chestnut could actually be pretty annoying for my team if I'm not able to properly KO it with like a Hidden Power Flying on Greninja. Next up is Florges. Florges actually had an amazing matchup offensively versus his team, because his only Fairy Resists were a Rapidash and a Durant. Yes, that is correct. His Steel is only a Durant for playoffs, which actually blew my mind. I'm surprised he opted to go that route. He didn't have a Dark type or a Steel for playoffs, which is pretty interesting. But Florges, beautiful, beautiful matchup. And I opted for a kind of a weird set. First I was thinking maybe I could just go Choice Specs, but then I was like, I feel like he capitalized a little bit on some things with that. And also originally I was like, oh, Moonblast doesn't go through Bulletproof, but it does. Moonblast does go through Bulletproof, so keep that in mind. So originally, or at the end, I just decided to go with like a Calm Mind substitute, Moonblast, Hidden Power Ice set with a Pixie Plate. This just absolutely like blew back his team. At that rate, maybe I could have just went with the Calm Mind setup, but I was really worried about just Durant coming in and like basically just immediately scaring off Florges, because I'll get bopped by an Iron Head. Even a Flare Blitz from like Rapidash could hurt if he was Life Orb or Choice Banded. Lando T could come in, and if it had like a Z, it'd just blow me back. Even if it's just offensive Lando T, I'm going to be taking a ton of damage. So even like Kingdra and Rain would have been doing a lot, everything like that. So I just kind of opted to go for like get it behind a substitute maybe, and then just call mine and get it with one of those. Then Power Ice would help me with the Lando to make sure I can just like cheese that thing out of the way. But it was just basically just hopefully to wall break. I didn't really necessarily need a bulky Florges for this game, I'd say. But sorry, just realized the music stopped. Florges, I still feel like could do really well offensively versus his teams, because he honestly doesn't have the best check to it, and I'm really hoping he's just I'm able to capitalize on that. But I know Josh does respect Florges himself, because he doesn't have one on his team, so he might have a counter somewhere in it. But as of just paper matchup, Florges is looking beautiful. Blastoise, I just need a defensive and AV version. Defensive to really help me versus the Lando and the Mega Aerodactyl, as well as having a special defensive bulky with the Assault Vest to help me versus the Pelipper and the Kingdra. I'm running Scald, Hidden Power Electric, Mirror Coat, and Ice Beam. Ice Beam strictly to at least let me hit the Chestnut and potentially just straight up pick up a KO on the Lando T instead of potentially just clicking Scald and not getting a KO if he's slightly bulky. So next up is Alolan Persian. We have Parting Shot, Foul Play, Hidden Power, Fire, and Thunderbolt with the Expert Belt. Very minimal special attack investment. Like I think I only had like 12. It was really just HP and speed. This was really just to pivot around his team. I did have Furco for defensive, just a defensive check to like Mega Arrow and stuff like that. Hidden Power, Fire with the Expert Belt with 12 investment. Even though I'm not Technician, does allow me to pick up a KO on Durant. I felt like he might be able to capitalize on Alolan Persian by going into Durant, which threatens my team so hard offensively. If it was just to be Ground Z in order to, Ground Z with Dig in order to knock out Registeel, and then he just pressures a lot of my other Pokemon, so it's his Blastoise and Lando T to where his own Lando T or something could clean up after, and it was really scary to me. But being able to have that just potentially cheese the Durant, I felt like was pretty helpful. Might have been a little bit better to go like Hidden Power Ice just because Lando was a big threat versus my team. I didn't really notice it at the time, team building, but you just had to see. Of course, Parting Shot is just so helpful in almost every match. It was really nice to get that around versus the Rain Pokemon as well as if they opted to come. And Registeel, just a Spadef bulky with, I actually need to go max Spadef to help me versus Choice Specs Kingdra to make sure I'm not 2 KO'd. So, ironically, I had to go 252 HP, 252 Spadef, careful, or whatever it is. But, Registeel had Protect, Stealth Rocks, Thunder Wave, Seismic Toss. Thunder Wave is only because I do need it for speed control on his Rain. That is the only reason I have it on there. But, apart from that, my team looks pretty solid, I think. And then I was looking at, when I saw his team pop up on the matchup, I was so surprised. Rapidash makes no sense to me. I'm not even bothering getting a Rapidash Sprite. As you can tell, I'm just using the Ponyta one because I don't understand why someone would have a Rapidash one ready. But, yes, that is an offense at Rapidash. Good speed tier, whatever, he gets Wild Charge, sure. But tier 5 fire type is not my cup of tea. Miltank was like more so like shit. Now I have to face this thing because I didn't really prep too much for it. It made sense for it to come because it is a good check to Mega Charizard X and everything with Thick Fat and just being defensive with Milk Drink and Thunder Wave and Bulldoze if it wants to, all that good stuff. But like Florges, Lando T, Mew, Chestnut, those all kind of made sense to me. But still, I was really surprised like no Rain or Durant. Like, I wouldn't have been, like, too surprised if he opted Rain over Florges and Rapidash, and then maybe Durant over Chestnut. Well, I mean, you know, if he were to get rid of Florges, he would still need a check to Gren, so. Either way, the Rain just did really well versus him for my team, because it pressured Blastoise so hard, which was my only real check to it. And then also just having Rain Kingdra immediately helps him versus Lando T. If it's Scarf, it helps them versus Mega Charizard X, because I'm not able to get up 2D dances at all, ever, versus him. So he will always have a counter Mega Charizard X with Rain Kingdra in the back. And just stuff like that. Like, he pressured me so well with it. I was really surprised. But going to this, I was still not sure what I was expecting, but looking at the matchup, I'm like, sweet, Florges is pretty good. I'm just going to opt to lead that. There's really no reason for me to do anything else, I feel like. Also just debating, like, or just looking at all the fat on his team, I'm really expecting that Lando T to be another setup of variant, just like, or pretty similar to mine, whether or not it's just a Dual Dance set, or if it is something else. Dual Dance I wouldn't be surprised about, because my team is pretty ground weak, or if it's just like a Choice Band or Choice Scarf set, that'd also be understandable, just to have him have another check to some of my speed tiers, as well as just being able to wall break if you did opt to go for the Choice Band. So we're going to start off versus the Mew, and I'm just going to go for Calm Mind. There's really no reason for me not to right here. As he opts to go for the light screen, I'm like, this is totally fine, dude. I don't mind. You can get up screens in front of me. As long as my Florges can set up, it's just going to be doing work. Because his only real thing to hit me, like, physically, is Lando. But that's what I thought. And then his Mew had Gunk Shot. I was pissed off when this happened. This is really good prep on his part, and I knew Josh would respect Florges. But goddamn, Gunk Shot on Mew I was not expecting. And I almost died because I don't have any defensive bulk. I'm like HP and special attack mainly. But I was so pissed because Florges was going to do so much work. And if that Mew didn't have Gunk Shot, then I would have been in such a better position, but that was just really good prep on his part. And right here, I just go into Registeel and just get rocks. I really feel like I'm not that scared to. And then he makes the play into Chestnut. I'm looking at my team and I'm like, I lose to a Belly Drum Chestnut if he just subs right here and gets it for free. So I have to stay in here and click Seismic Toss, which does break unless he's like almost max HP, but he really can't if he's a Belly Drum set. So luckily I stay in, I click it on his substitute, which does make me believe he is a Belly Drum set, and I like was so blessed. And at this point I knew I could switch out. If he were to go for a Belly Drum here, that would actually be like the worst case scenario, but I wouldn't really expect him just to do it out in the open because he knows the Seismic Toss would just KO him. He had really opted to go for the Drain Punch here because he needs to make sure he gets enough health to where he can sub and Belly Drum again. I knew that was his play, so I opted to go Lando T and at least get me some momentum right here because now I can just click Fly Z and claim a kill, like straight up. Because he doesn't want to go into Meltank because if I do have Earthquake, which I don't, but he doesn't know that, Fly Z and Earthquake would clean up Meltank right after if he didn't have enough speed investment to outspeed the Lando T. And then you have to see, and he goes into Mew here and everything. But Florges, I'd be able to easily take care of that with 2 hits. And then Rapidash doesn't even need to go without saying. Chestnut would have died to Bird's Wing. So, but we do knock out the Mew from almost full just right after Stealth Rocks, which is actually pretty crazy. I'm kind of surprised it wasn't that bulky of a Mew, to be honest, if he was screens. I don't know. I guess he wanted to run a decent amount of attack investment, I guess, for Florges for the Gunk Shot. But right here he goes right back in the Chestnut. I know he's good for the sub. So I'm going to click Empire Ice just so he can't get the sub for free, because I knew once he got a little bit of health back from that Drain Punch on Lando T that he's going to be able to sub Belly Drum again. But that first Empire scared the living shit out of me. I'm like, oh my god, that did so little. This next one might not even be able to break sub. But I forgot Light Screen was up and it ended right after that turn. So he's just going to upgrade for the C-Bomb. This is, I think, about going to do 50 or so. Yeah, just about. I knew that was probably what he was going to go for, but I really couldn't really do anything about it. Right here I feel like was a misplay. This is where I really wish I had EQ. I really shouldn't have opted for Stone Edge or anything like that. But it was just like the Pelipper and everything. But with like Fly Z, I hate myself when I build sometimes, dude. But I'm just going to opt to go for the Fly. I'm like, sweet. Now if he's Ice Punch Miltank, I just lose my Lando straight up. But as you can see, we go for the Fly, and he's pretty defensively bulky. Makes sense. He wants to be a Mega Charizard X answer. And he's just going to go for Stealth Rocks of his own. Let me apologize. I need to take Mew off the screen. And he gets his lefties. It's whatever. Right here, I'm going for the Rock Polish. I'm really just going to pressure him to try and kill me so I can get the most damage off versus this Meltank. I just want him to view Lando T as more as a threat if I get the Rock Polish up. I don't really know how much that would threaten him since I'm not raising any of my physical or special stats. But I really just want to get as much chip as possible off on this to where I can go into Gran and hopefully just be able to pick it off with like one Dark Pulse into maybe a Hydro Pump or something of the sort. Because I am Life Orb. I'm not going to be locked into anything. If I want to go for a cheesy flinch first, I might be able to. That Fly did like minimum damage right there, which really sucked. But he's just going to go for the Seismic Toss here as he gets his lefties, and I'm like, okay. In the long run, I'm not really going to be able to do anything. He's just going to be able to get lefties, and then he's going to be able to do other things. But I'm just going to go for the Stone Edge here, just in case he opts to go for another Seismic Toss and just KO me. But he does opt to go for the Milk Drink, which is understandable. He didn't want to play it safe. And I did get a crit, so it was actually really good on his part that he did Milk Drink. And knowing after he just did that, I wouldn't be surprised if he Milk Drink right here again. So I wanted to just go hard into my Greninja, because this is what pressures it the most. 2 Hydro Pumps will knock it out. Or do I... Oh, I go into Florges and I sack it to Rock so I can freely go into Greninja. My bad. I didn't want to risk taking Seismic Toss damage or anything else. Like if it did have Body Slam in the back, and I didn't want to risk a Para. But he does get his leftovers as I sack the Florges. And I'm going to go into Greninja here, like I mentioned. 2 Hydro Pumps will take it out. A Dark Pulse into a Hydro Pump, unfortunately, won't take it out from the health it's at. If it is just a standard bulky. If he was max defense, there was a chance of it happening, but I didn't want to risk it. This thing is a massive threat. And he goes for the Thunder Wave. Once again, I cursed out loud when this happened. I don't remember the last time I've seen Yellow Color Cow, dude. This thing... I know it's the ideal check to Charizard X, especially when your only move that you bring is Seismic Toss, but it still pissed me off. Like, I know it makes perfect sense and everything, and then I get immediately first turn Para, Kelly was in my call muted, just playing Fortnite and listening to this, and he was laughing so hard at my rage, he said, like, after, and I just found, like, I was kind of upset, which is understandable, because Gran was, like, my only win con versus his team, because now I really struggle versus Lando, because if, like, my Lando's and doesn't outspeed his, then he just KOs me, and I only have one rocket switch in for my Lando, and just me being paired just sucks. It absolutely sucks. I'm just gonna go right here to Blastoise versus the Floridas. Why did I go here? I went into Blastoise over Registeel because if he was a Calm Mind setup, I'd at least be able to try and like mirror code him compared to Registeel just going for Seismic Tosses, because if he was just Wish, actually if he was a Calm Mind variant, it was basically just over, so I don't really think it mattered. But I'm gonna go for the Scald here, as he did get the special he did get the special attack drop versus Blastoise, but it didn't matter because Scald still wouldn't have KO'd. If I did get the burn, then it would have mattered because that would have KO'd Chestnut. But right here, okay. So if I'm wrong, just let me know. But like, I was really scared here because if he had enough attack investment and everything after he got that Salac, if he could like Drain Punch and just got enough health, wasn't that his play? Because there was a chance that another Scald could have KO'd him from where he was at, depending on his investment. But even if I had Ice Beam, I don't know, there was a chance. Let me pull up this calc because I'm curious. My Blastoise set versus his Chestnut. I have this on repeat. Just play that fucking music, game. I say game because I get pissed. That shows how often I get like mad at stuff. But sorry, I'm distracted. This is what happens when you don't edit in music and you just play it in the background. But let me pull up this calc because I am curious. I honestly am. Blastoise. Sorry, where are my custom sets? Oh, yeah, I don't have it on here anymore. Word. I don't really think I have that much special attack investment. Okay, sorry, turn off custom sets. I both love and hate the calc. Blastoise, let's just assume I was defensive. I don't really care at this point. Chestnut, we'll do blank set. Assume he had very little HP. I'm just gonna put it right up to the even at 320. Ice Beam. Compared to Scald. The Scald did like 15 to 17. That's fair. Okay, no, Ice Beam was gonna kill him no matter what. It seems like if he was just, you know, fully offensive, even if he had little HP. So if he could have gotten the Drain Punch and somehow he got enough health from it, like even if he crit me, he might have just been able to sweep me at that point because he only needs to get past Blastoise. I guess it was his better play just to hope Seed Bomb would kill, because he did kind of know I was more of a Spadef Blastoise with the Assault Vest after that Floyd just Moonblast damage. So I guess Seed Bomb was his proper play. That was just me just knowing my own team and everything. So I go for the Skull versus the Miltank here as he accidentally clicked Stealth Rocks. I know he meant to click Seismic Toss and we get a crit. A burn would have been funny, but unfortunately he just lets it go down. And right here he just opts to Seismic Toss again and just kill my Blastoise. I was kind of surprised he didn't want to just get to full health, because technically my Lando could come in and revenge it, but my Lando sucks because I made it bad. So we're really on the back foot here and we're just trying to climb back as the best we can, but this bulky Miltank with Thunder Waves just kind of ruins my team. And just having Lando T in the back that can spam EQ freely versus my team now without getting punished since Greninja is paralyzed is absolutely terrifying. Like, it's going to be really difficult for me to win this. My best option is just, I don't know, because the Lando T is just difficult to kill, because it can live any hit versus like anything else and just click a move and be able to knock it out. So I'm going to have to cheese the Lando somehow. That's like my only plan, somehow. But we get the Thunder Wave on the Rapidash just goes in, but I realize now I don't have a switch into Flare Blitz, and I just have to sack my Lando. And this is where I realize I actually just let myself lose to his own Lando T. And right here, I'm going to go into Gran after, and I'm basically just trying to pick up a kill right here. That's basically what Hydro Pump does. If he wants to misclick on Lando, that'd be hot. But really not expecting that. He either just lets the Rapidash go down right here, or he just opts to sack something else off. I was kind of surprised he opted to switch, and he went into the Melt Tank. I was really like, wow, he's just letting this Melt Tank die. But of course I get parried. But he was just trying to sack it so he could just go into Lando T and click EQ and win, because that's all he does at this point. And I'm not going to bother going into this, because I'm going to switch out and I go into Alolan Persian. And I click Thunderbolt versus this thing, or sorry, I go into Registeel and then I go into Alolan Persian. Whatever, I'm skipping these turns. Basically, it's a lot of para nonsense. So I end up getting a Thunder Wave para on his Melt Tank with my, Thunderbolt paralysis with my Alolan Persian on his Melt Tank, and then we just go, one of us gets parried like every turn, and it's just really annoying, and I don't want you guys to sit through that, so we'll just go to the part to where I start to get EQ spammed. There, the Melt Tank finally goes down. So we lost the Alolan Persian and everything, and then he lost his Melt Tank, haha, Melt Tank, and then the Lando T comes in at this point. I know it's over. Lando T outspeeds everything on my team, and it just clicks EQ, and it just wins. There's nothing I can really do about it. It's unfortunate. But it was also just not the best prep on my part. I didn't prep for the team as a whole. I expected them to just bring certain things, and they ended up not coming. I made my team pretty Lando weak. I made my team not able to kill Melt Tank, which I knew was going to be a problem when I didn't draft a fighting type. That there were going to be bulky normals like Melt Tank that I was just going to struggle with. He even has the Ground Seed just to make sure he can knock out Registeel here. And he's just going to completely blow me back, and that's just going to be the end of that game. I'm taking everything off while this plays out, so that's going to be it for the Charizard season. I'm sorry if this video was kind of like a little bit negative, but just watching again just shows how far I was on the back foot since like the beginning. So there's a lot of things that caught me off guard this battle. That gunk shot really started it, just turn 2. And the belly jump chestnut, I don't understand either. But yeah, it did really well like versus me. Like it would have won if I didn't opt to just go for the seismic toss. But I still feel like there were better options for his team as a whole. But once again, that's me, and he won, so he knows what's better, and I don't. Really, really good game to Josh. He always preps so well. I knew he was going to be taking plenty of time to prep and mock for this, and I was kind of busy at the time. I haven't played for over 2 weeks. I really wish we didn't. I voted for having that 1 week break to where we upload the draft analysis and everything, but I wish we went right back into it because I took too much time off of Pokemon, and then I even feel like building for playoffs, which really sucked. I tried my best though still. He was really surprised to see no Mew and Mega Charizard X, he says. Mew is kind of understandable. I really was opting for just a like mono psychic setup Mew because he didn't have a dark type. But once again, I was scared of things like just Durant coming in and like critting me, or just even getting toxic and then just being worn down. But based off his team, I could have done it and I could have just won. So I kind of wish I opted to go that route instead of Florges. Other than that, I still don't understand why he like valued Mega Charizard X that big of a threat versus his team. Once again, he has Rain with Pelipper and Kingdra, to where those two do crazy damage to me, and defensive Pelipper counters me so well if I don't bring Thunder Punch. Which I don't really want to force that on Mega Charizard X entirely, because that's literally the only thing it'd be for. And if he didn't even opt to bring it, then, you know. And then Kingdra behind Rain, like, it's... Unless I get a Tailwind up or something else, I'm never actually able to counter that team. Like, with a D-Dance, even if I'm just an offensive Charizard, I'm always threatened out by the thing that does the most damage to my team in Kingdra and the Rain. So, like, that's bad on my part as well if I want to have Charizard. And even then, he's got his own Lando T, whether it's defensive or Scarf. That's even going to be a strong counter to my own Charizard. He's got Melt Tank with Thick Fat. That's one of the best counters. And of course, he has his T-Wave and everything. It even has Mew, he even has Florges to where I can't just Dragon Spam. It's like, I don't understand why Charizard X was apparently a big threat to his team, because it wasn't. The Mew, I understand why that could have been a threat and everything. But I don't know. I wish Charizard had a better matchup. Maybe I should have opted something else, seeing Rain like right out of the gate round 1. But, you know, hindsight's 20/20. Like, if I would have known all this stuff, then I would have prepped better. But in the end, Josh had better prep and he played better, and I didn't. It's just, that's all it came down to for the round 1. There's no excuses. Josh did really well, and I really hope he does well in the next round of playoffs, as he's going to be facing... Find out for yourself and check out all the battles, because all the battles are up at this moment. I'm probably the last one uploading, because this is going up a day late, like I mentioned, and I do apologize about that once again. As for my APA Classic videos, I haven't uploaded any of those yet. I just haven't had the time to. One of them I do need a post-com because I had people working on my house and the noise was really loud. If I do still opt to or want to upload those videos, I'll probably upload like 2 or 3 in one day, just so I can get those all out. So you guys just let me know how you want to see those, if whether it's one a day or you just want to get them all at once. let me know down in the comments. Also, please let me know what you thought of how I did this season. I thought I did pretty well. The round 1 of playoffs is just kind of normal for me where I lose. It's pretty common to where I kind of drop round 1. It just be like that sometimes, because it's not sometimes, almost all the time. 80% of the time I drop round 1 in playoffs, but it's fine. I had really fun this season. It was like, I don't know if I'm going to do another like big league before Sword and Shield, but just watch out for that. Also, even though it's another league and everything, it's not really too much of a competitor because we have most of our coaches in there. Make sure to check out stuff for the WBE. I really don't think they mind me saying, since all the coaches are announced and everything. But I'm going to be a analyst for the WBE, so look forward to that. Make sure you check them out, because you will be seeing me doing pick'ems with my friend ChoicePan CJ, and it's going to be very, very fun. I'm looking forward to all the stuff WBE is going to be doing. But I think that's enough rambling for me. I really just need to end this video and upload it at this point. So that'll be it for me, guys. Thank you for an amazing season once again. Please stick around for any more content on my channel. I would greatly appreciate it, because you know how the Charizards are, and we will continue just dragon dancing through it. I don't know. That was actually pretty dumb. I've never said that once, and that was really cheesy. Edit that out. Just kidding. I don't edit. Sub, like, share, deuces.